Good morning, Fagan Mill family. Welcome to our 2023 Veterans Day presentation. This is where we take a moment to recognize and thank all of our service members across the nation for what they do for our country. It also is a time for us to recognize and highlight our staff members who have served in the military throughout the past years. At this time, would everyone please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose red stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing as we recite our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, if you'll please remain standing for a moment of quiet reflection. Okay, you may be seated.
For me, being a veteran means that I have a period in my life that I'm probably most proud of, where it was me doing more than just taking care of myself and having self-interest, but dedicating myself to a role and a function and a purpose that was larger than just myself and my family, but my country.
Being a veteran means being part of a family, and that family is always there looking out for you and taking care of you. What I'm mostly proud of is serving my country and serving alongside some of the bravest people that I've ever known. Working with fellow veterans, we all know our past experiences and we can be there for each other. We might not have served on the same battlefields or in the same shops, but we know the hardships and we know things that may have happened overseas, and then we can relate to those and help each other out in times of need.
We feel the kinship, we feel the community around those who are veterans, and we're constantly reminded of those before us, the great things that they've done, and the way they conduct themselves now. We want to mimic and emulate that kind of effect. So we almost want to be in their shoes one day. You know, that's how I feel. We're surrounded by some great veterans who've done some amazing things here. And though they may be in a different uniform, I still feel the brotherhood and sisterhood, you know, in this organization.
Being a veteran means everything to me. I'm proud that people can say, oh, I can tell that you served. It gives me, I feel like, special powers. Even though I don't wear the uniform anymore, there's certain things I feel like I will always have in common, especially with someone, you know, who served. So there are no lines, you know, between races or gender or anything like that. There's just this common bond.
I'm proud of the fact that I did serve. I can say that I've done something in my life other than just be Russ Petkoff. I served in the military. I stepped forward to help defend this nation, to serve this nation. If you're a veteran, you're working in PEO Soldier, you're able to provide a unique insight. You've actually have worn it, have used something. So I think veterans are very important to this organization.
A veteran is someone who is willing to, at any cost, write a blank check. That person, he or she, is willing to put aside their own personal feelings or their own personal emotions and sacrifice everything they have for the better good of the country. My kids often, they'll ask, especially my older kids, they'll ask, Dad, why are you in the military? Why do you deploy all the time? We don't like you being away from home. And the answer for me has always been, well, if I do it, then you don't have to.
We observe today the celebration of freedom.
The day America sets aside to honor millions of our finest heroes. They are the men and women who defend our country and preserve our peace and freedom. Each time our nation has called upon our citizens to serve, the best have come forward. Where do we get such brave young Americans? We can and should take the opportunity on this Veterans Day to remember their gift to us. Veterans know better than anyone else the price of freedom, where they've suffered the scars of war. All those who served in America's uniform deserve the nation's thanks. Words could never express what the patriotism of generation after generation of American heroes means for the very soul of our nation. Because of you, America's best days are still to come. And with faith, freedom, and courage, there's no limit to what America can and will accomplish.
The graves of young Americans who answered the call to service around the globe. They called to bear the burden, a struggle against the common enemies of man. United, there is little we cannot do. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
Throughout our history, America's men in uniform have always been ready when the cause of freedom called, and they've never let us down. Our most recent heroes, those still serving, carried on with the same dedication and valor as their colleagues before them. If we remember that their dedicated service is in defense of our freedom, and if we understand that they put their lives on the line so we might enjoy justice and liberty, then their sacrifices will not be in vain. This is our obligation, and this has been the spirit of Veterans Day from the beginning.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.